Welcome to the Resilient Teen Podcast, as you guys saw the title. But this is how I found out. So we were chilling. We're just chilling. And then we're at church and we listened to the teaching and I was like, oh, really good, really good, really good. And then, by the way, the teaching, if you are wondering what I was listening to, is up on the cards. That side of the screen. It's United Fortitude Church. Will Owens taught, and it was very good teaching. But anyways, so if you guys are interested in the teaching, check that out now and then resume the podcast. Boom, simple as that. But we were at church and we listened to the teaching and everything was good. And because my dad wasn't teaching, right? So we were chilling, and then we were about to leave. I was ready. I ended the pod track, so like the video would stop recording. And then he's like, "All right, so prayers for Trump. Trump got shot." I was like, "What?" Because he was at a rally and he got shot, and it was just insane. And before we continue on, I just do want to clarify: this is not a political podcast. I'm not trying to say Trump or Biden or this or that. Like, it's legit nothing like that. It's just talking about him and how he was resilient, right? That's all it is. Like, it's not like Trump or Biden or I'm doing this because of Trump. If another person was in the same situation, I would mention it. So, just disclaimer, it's not like Trump or Biden. So, if you guys are either way, it's not going either way. It's just saying how he was, like, how I took it as resilience. So, we found out he got shot, and, I didn't know. We're like, is he okay? Is he not? Like, what happened? So, condolences to him, the family of the person that died. So, like, I'm very, like, just shocked about what happened. Like, it was a very, like, weird way to find out, like, after church, right? So, this isn't, again, like, politics, like, for me. It's just resilience. So, again, like, shout outs to the family and prayers for you guys and prayers for everybody in the situation that was affected. So I wasn't going to make a podcast about this. I was like, oh, dang, that's insane. I can't believe Trump got shot. Like, wow. And then I was like done with it. I wasn't going to move on. Obviously, we haven't stopped talking about it, just like the different things and chopping it up since it happened yesterday. And it's Sunday, so I don't honestly know like when this is coming out. It should be like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So hello. So I know I jumped on late about it, but it's whatever. So I wasn't even thinking about making an episode. It was just, it is what it is. Like, how does that have to do with me? But then today I was on Instagram and I see Trump's post. It's on the screen right now. So I'll give you guys a sec to pause and read it. But if not, I'm going to read it. So either way, it's fine. So he says, based on yesterday's terrible events, I was going to delay my trip to Wisconsin in the Republican National Convention by 2 days. But I've just decided I cannot allow a shooter or potential assassin to force change to scheduling or anything else. Therefore, I will be leaving for Milwaukee as scheduled at 3:30 p.m. today. Thank you, Donald Trump. So, right, looking at that, it's like, dude, like, that's resilience. And to pull up, because I forgot to pull up the definition of resilience. Why can I not type? So, resilience, I already know the definition, but I don't know why it's dark, but it's fine. It says the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties, right? So, that was a difficulty, man. He just got shot and his ears probably hurting, and he's I'm not saying this is him, I'm just saying the average person would have just made excuses, right? He was even going to delay it, right? And that's just for all of us, right? I know for me. Honestly, today I was thinking about making excuses. I'll give 2 reasons. First, I don't want to get out of bed. I had to work this morning, and I was not trying to work. Like, dude, I was like, oh, I gotta wake up. I gotta do all this, like, whatever. Right? So, right, even this morning, I was trying to make excuses. And then we get to the job, and we're going about our day. It's, like, going good, and then my lawnmower breaks. And we forgot the weed eater twine. And the wire cutters. Boom. So, like, I was already like, dude, we should just leave. We can come back another day, fix the lawnmower, make sure we have the twine and the cutters. But these thought I may do with one lawnmower that was battery powered. So, like, the amount of times we were waiting for that thing to charge. But, like, right, I could have made excuses today, but I knew I couldn't, right? And that's the thing, right? Resilience. It was like we had a difficult situation today. Our lawnmower broke. How are we supposed to do it? But we used resilience, and we recovered, right? Because we finished the job. We recovered. Our dad was recording his podcast, which is Ignited Fortitude Podcast. So check that out, please. That's the whole reason I'm doing a podcast now. So thank you, Dad, for that. But even thinking, right, he was recording his own podcast and everything. And, all right, I was waiting for him. But instead of just waiting, we made sure that we did what we had to do, our responsibilities. So, right, Trump told people right? It's being a man of your word. He told people he was gonna be at this convention, and so he's like, I'm not gonna allow somebody that was pretty much trying to knock him down to stop him. And even thinking like, how many times do we get knocked down? Like for me, like as like like you're going up and up and up on like the ladder, I guess if you will, right? Just trying to improve. Like how many of us get knocked down? Like in like obviously in a little way, like like you're such a loser, you're doing all this. Perfect example. When I was like, I know to bring it back. When I was doing my lemonade stand, right? Like I was trying to like, hey, make money this summer, work hard this summer, and everyone was laughing, right? So even thinking like I got knocked down on a little scale because I was like I was out leveling people.
Good night, Pookie.
Bro, we're on the podcast, but it's okay.
Oh, we're?
Yeah, go. Say, hey, what do you gotta say?
Keep your dreams alive.
Keep your dreams alive. All right, close the door and let them know, please, because I don't want them to come back saying anything. Thank you, love you, bro. But hello, right? So even people like on the lemonade stand, right? Like dogging me, like, oh, like you're such a loser, like you're doing all this, right? I could have stopped, and I was getting knocked down, but it didn't ever stop me. Look where we're at today. But even for Trump, man, like the higher up you go, the more they try to knock you out. And Andrew Tate, right? I'll bring up Andrew Tate. He's brought up a thing where you have 3 lives. I don't know why I did it on both hands, but you have 3 lives. Your first life is they try to cancel you, right? And I'm just saying Donald Trump is a man. It's not even politics or nothing, right? I'm just going with the exact like just the facts. So he was canceled, right? People were trying to get him banned off Twitter, trying to get him like all these things, right? So and then he says after your first life, then your second life comes and they try to throw you in jail. And so I heard, and I saw a thing, and I'm just saying what I saw, right? They were trying to put him in federal prison for like 700 years, like something, right? So they were trying to now put him in jail, but that didn't work. So what do? After you can't cancel him, that life is gone, right? You try to cancel him, keep him quiet, that doesn't work. You try to put him in jail, that didn't still work. So you have one more job, and that's to kill him, right? And I'm not saying anything. It's just what I saw Andrew Tate, and I related it to this because I saw those things. Again, not saying anything, but that's just what I saw. So even thinking, right? Moral of the story. People, like, as, like, you go up, people try to tear you down. It's just what happens, right? So even for him, right? He got a difficult situation. He got shot in the ear, right? It's like, dude, like, imagine that. Like, his ear's hurting. Maybe the title and all maybe wore off, or, like all the things that could have happened, but he wasn't going to let anything tear him down. He said he was going to be at the convention. He was going to delay it by only 2 days, but he's like, why would I let somebody stop me? So he went anyway. So for me, looking at that, I saw resilience in that. Like, man, like, it's not easy. Like, all of us go through things in life, whether, like, I don't know. There's many things, right? For me today, our lawnmower wasn't working, and our weed eater, we only had a limited amount of twine, and all these different things happened. But being resilient, right, as what I try to preach, I try to live. So for us to be resilient, we had to recover from that, and recovering was just making do with what we had. And there was a point where we didn't have the lawnmower; it was charging. So instead of being lazy, we just got the shovel, and we used the shovel, and we just started like getting everything out one by one, and grass by grass. We were just going through like a dang tractor would with a little bucket on it. But yeah, right. So resilience, right? We had a difficult situation. We had to recover today, and that's on the lower scale, right? Trump had a pretty big issue, right? His freaking ears jacked and everything, and he still recovered. So that's what we're trying to teach, right? And that starts all in the mind. Okay. That's wrapping it up. And to go into, like, the shooter, right? And, again, we're not going through anything, but what I can't, because I don't know why. I don't know why the shooter did what he did. If you guys have any ideas, you guys can obviously throw them in the comments. I would love to read those and just kind of hear what y'all are thinking about the situation. Tell me how you feel and how, like, just anything you want to share, please put it in the comments. I will read every single one, so spam it as much as you want, and I will be reading. Again, email us if you have any questions at resilientteampodcast.com. Not a website. At resilientteampodcast@gmail.com. Again, resilientteampodcast@gmail.com. Everything's in the description, so if you need things to contact us, check the description, right? But to talk about the shooter now, right? The shooter was 20 years old, like 20, 21, I think. Like, imagine, dude. I'm 15, so that's like 6 years. 6 years, right? Like, dude, like, that's not that far. And like, imagine how much life you have to live, man. People are living up to like 80s. Like, dude, like that's 60 years, man. 60 years of life that this guy isn't living based on a single decision, right? Single decisions happen in many ways, right? We make decisions today. I made a decision to record the podcast, and that's gonna pay out in a good way. Or I could have made a decision not to do it, and I would have lost views. I couldn't have got traction, like all these different things, right? So in life, everybody makes decisions, and I'll be honest, my decisions were influenced, right? Every decision's influenced, right? Things you believe, right? It happens here, right? If I believe, right, for example, right? I'm again, like, it's not like I'm trying to harp, like, I believe in God, right? And I would like proclaim that in every single way. I believe in Jesus, right? And it's also from things that I've heard. Again, it's also from things that I've witnessed, man. God has worked the mighty works in my life and in my parents' lives, and without that, like, my faith wouldn't be as strong. But the thought came from my parents, and I lived it, right? Oh, my parents are going to church, and I'm going to church. And I lived that for a while, and then I really got serious about the Lord, and I started reading the Bible, and I started doing all these different things, right? So, again, decisions were made by influences. That just happened, man. Peer pressure. Again, right, that's in the positive, right? I believe in God, and that's a good thing. But then again, to go to the negative, when I was hanging around with kids in school, getting in fights and being disrespectful to teachers and all these different things, right? It was the same thing being influenced by those people, but it was in a negative way, right? So it's, again, who you surround yourself with, which obviously, man, I don't have a choice to be around my parents. I'm just like, I love you parents to death. But, right, I don't have right, it's not a bad thing. But, right, those are my parents, and that's who I'm influenced, right? But I think everybody is. And a bad way to be influenced is hanging around with people you shouldn't be hanging around with. And if you guys are seriously, like, for me, let me ask you, like, how many of you make decisions, and how many of you, like, if you think about everything, how many of you are influenced by people, right? Whether it's a YouTuber, right? For me, I started I'll call it, I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast, but I have currently it's still up, a gaming YouTube channel where I haven't posted in like 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, something like that. But I played games, and I played with Noel, right? Shout out to you, Noel. I don't know if you even are going to watch this, but shout out, bro. Right? But him and I just played games, and we just yapped about useless nonsense. So, like, if you're trying to better yourself, I wouldn't listen to that. But, right, we played games, and we talked about the game, and we talked about life and just different things. And, alright, so some bloopers came in, so I'm, like, just clipping the podcast. But, right, just like I talked about, right, I was really influenced, right? I was watching tons of YouTubers, and every video I made was influenced some way, whether it was the Hive, right? Hive is a mini game on Minecraft, right? I'm just gonna call it out. That's what I do, right? So I was influenced. I saw it on YouTube. I could play it, I could record it, and I'd post it, right? So that was for me, right? I was looking, right? I was influenced, right? I like these YouTubers. They're posting, they have views. I'm gonna do the same, which is, I know is copycatting, but right, those people influenced me to start my channel, and they influenced me to do those things. So for you guys, if you guys know people, right, that are influencing you in a negative way, for me, right? Again, to mention Noel, right? Noel's a good guy, but he's only my gaming friend. Like, that's as much as, bro. Like, I'm not trying to call anybody out in a negative way, but Noel, like, he plays games, and that's what he does. It doesn't go farther than that. He doesn't work. He doesn't, like, you know, like, he's not on that level. Like, hold on. That was, like, I mean, no disrespect through all of us, but, hey, like, Noel, if I asked you, right, like, hey, are you working on, like, making money and going to the gym, getting fit, and all those things? No, right? And it's okay, because we all move at life at our own paces. But for me, I'm not going to go to Noel if I'm like, bro, I need to grow my business, I need help, like, what's happening, right? I wouldn't go to him, because him and I play games, and I love it. I love playing games with you, dude. It's fun, it's entertaining, and I will be there for you no matter what. And I'm calling out here, man. I'm a man of my word. So, bro, if you ever need anything, bro, if this is just like man to man, call me, and I will answer. I always do, unless I'm working. But either way, it's fine. But I answer most of the time, but let's not get into that. But I'm just saying, like, even thinking, like, right, I play games, and that's the person I go to, right? Because he, like, we influence each other, and I do rub off on him, and one day he will get there. And it's not even supposed to be anything mean. I'm just saying. But that's the thing with influences, man. When I'm talking to Noel, we always play games. We never, I'm telling you, out of all the conversations I've had with Noel, bro, I love you. I have never talked about business with you, and I've tried to. It just never happens, and that's okay. And I don't push it, right? To even go with people like, hey, right? So, like, that influence. If I just hung around with Noel, then I would stay in that position, right? But for me, I had to realize, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And that's the biggest quote I've ever heard, because man, like for me, I wanted to better. I wanted to make money. I want to do these things. But I would like this is how it would happen, man. Oh, dude, I need to make money. I want to make money. I want to buy my own things. Like I want this. I want to buy it. But as soon as I thought that, this is what happened, dude. I want to make money. I want to do this. I just got on my phone and I started scrolling and I started scrolling. Right? Nothing changed. So nothing changed. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Nothing changes. I was in the same old cycle, the same old the same old outcome. It was honestly if right, because I always had ideas. Like even now, I have business ideas. Like right, the course. And I'll be honest, I wanted to do the course, and I didn't even get the website. It was just an idea I had because I joined Andrew Tate's course, and I was like, dude, I don't understand. For me at a young age, this doesn't apply to me. If I make my own thing to help people my age, and that's what the course does. If you guys check it out, I promise you, right? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. If you guys do one thing that changes, I guarantee you, join the course. Join the course. Or at least email us, ask a question or something, right? Because something changed, something better is going to happen, right? But that's only a positive, right? Joining the course is a positive because we have the information to help you start your business. We have the information to, right, help you start rising up, and the information to get in the gym, and the information for this, and the information for this, what you can do at home, right? We have all this kind of information to join, right? So that's a positive. If you change, right? If you change not being in there to joining, right? Something changed. Something's going to change it in the outcome, right? For me, if I'm on my phone and I stop being on my phone and I start doing more push-ups, let's say, right? I don't know, 20 push-ups a day. Sounds familiar. Which we're almost on day 200. That's on this Thursday, which is the 18th. We got 200 push-ups, and I'm not excited for that, right? Something changed, right? For me, I was on my phone, or honestly, for me, I sucked at push-ups. So I told myself and Instagram and you guys, I'm doing push-ups every day. I've done push-ups every day. And right, I've called it out. There was one day I was throwing up like really bad, and I did my push-ups. And another day I was super weak and shaky, and I still did my push-ups. Right, so like for me, I said I was gonna do something, I did it, and I'm telling you, my push-ups have gotten better and better and better and better every day because something changed. So the outcome changed. I sucked at push-ups. I didn't do push-ups. I started doing push-ups. Better push-ups, bro. Like lottery logic right there. Like, bro, like telling you, like that's just like a genius, right? But that's the thing, right? Like it's simple. If something changes, something else is gonna change, right? If I started putting all my money away in savings, something changed, right? Instead of spending it, I started saving everything. I'm gonna have more money, right? It's just like, dude, something happened, right? Like honestly, that's like the thing. So to even go with this, man, like if you guys don't have a good group of people and you can't find someone that has good goals, or for me, it's so hard to find people that are trying to make money and trying to work out and trying to do right. It's so hard to find that. Nobody wants to. They'd rather sit at home and they'd rather do nothing, and like all the possibilities, right? But for me, I'm not like actively searching, right? I have my good group of people now and we're all good, but at the time I wasn't actively searching. Again, nothing changed, so nothing changed. So I started looking for better people, and I started recording the podcast and all these things. So I started finding that because something changed, the outcome changed. And I know I've said that word probably like a million times, but right, to dumb it down, like, hey, something changed, something changed. And one thing I will say, like even thinking like resilience, right, just coming back to me. I will play the clip right now. So I'm gonna pause it, and you guys, I'm gonna stop talking. So here's the clip.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. My shoes.
Watch out.
Wait.
Anyways, man, looking at that clip, Trump, bro, he gets shot and he goes take a knee, and he gets back up and he's like, hold on. He's like, fight, right? And everyone's cheering, right? Because it was a resilience, man. It was a difficult thing, but Brody's like, nah, he ain't gonna affect me, and he got up, right? I don't know. It just popped in my head, and I thought it was cool, right? Hey, man, no matter how many times you get knocked down, it's how you get back up. You know, we've heard that our whole lives. No matter how many times you fall, it's the amount of times you get back up, right? He fell, right? That's honestly, he didn't fall, but he went down, and he got back up, and he got back proud. So, I don't know. I thought it was cool. But anyways, to go back to nothing changes. Right, I started finding the good group of people, and something changed. So for you guys, if nothing is changing in your life right now, you still have the friends. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I want to roll with winners, man. If I got to be with the people up top or the people at bottom, I'm going. Whoa. If I'm with the people that are succeeding up at the top and the people that are not succeeding, I want to be with the people that are succeeding. So for me, I had to put myself in situations where people are succeeding. So once you put yourself in those positions and start succeeding, you become up there, right? Because something changed. And if nothing changes, then you're going to still stay where you're at. If I told you if I told you right now, I want to get healthy, and I did the same thing I'm doing today, I'm going to still look the same old way I look now. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. But if I'm like, hey, I'm going to start eating better, I'm going to start working out more, something's going to change, right? So for you guys, I can't find the people that are like have the same goals, right? There's a lot of people that I know that don't have anything in common, right? But I know the one thing I do have in common with those people is we're trying to better ourselves, right? So even with you in the course, but I don't know if the people are going to have the same goals or want to be my friend, bro. We're all trying to better ourselves. We're all trying to just, right, together, right? Because think about it. You can't do anything by yourself. Rome wasn't, right, I know this is like the big thing, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and it definitely wasn't built by one person. So it takes people working together to go up, right? Think about companies. Companies, right, it takes time, and it takes multiple people. So this is what the course is, man. All of us talking and brainstorming and just like becoming close. And I'm telling you guys, join, bro. This is like the biggest, truest brotherhood, man. So if you guys are like, dude, nothing's changing and I need something, join. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. Sorry I hopped on it a little late, but just thinking, y'all, like, hey, two things. It's important to be resilient, man. The people we look up today are resilient, right? You guys could name a person you look up to and they're resilient. You know, if they're good people, right? But you guys should look up to people that are resilient, and you guys should look up and you guys should see those people that are resilient and want to become resilient. And for me, right, I'm not perfect, but I'm resilient, man. Like today, like in this situation with the freaking lawnmower and the dang twine and all that stuff, like, hey, it was a it was a horrible situation. The least, like the one possibility, the one situation I did not want had to happen today, but it happened, and I had to recover from that situation. And by recovering, I had to make do with what I had, and I had to use shovels, right? And it took longer, but I had to make do with what I had, right? I had to recover instead of doing nothing, right? Because I could have done nothing. I could have sat there and just waited for the lawnmower to like magically fix itself. No, so I just did what I could, and I had a good outcome, right? I finished the day. So, again, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And resilient was getting back up, and nothing changed, right? If I sat there, nothing would have changed. So, I used the shovel. And, yes, it did take longer, but I got it done. And just even thinking about that, like, if nothing changed, nothing would have changed. So, something changed. I did something changed. So, if you guys, again, are interested in the course and interested in bettering your lives, especially as teens, it's built for you guys. Like, this course I've designed, like, built for you. No matter your age, I promise you, joining this, you'll leave better than you came. And that's what I'm telling you. I can make a promise. You will leave better than you came. So, join the course. If you guys are interested, and if you have any questions, resilientteenpodcast@gmail.com or sidehustleruniversity.com, www.sidehustleruniversity.com. So join those. Check any of those pages out. Email us if you have any questions. Again, I want to know your opinions. What do you guys think about the Trump situation? Just what are your opinions? And remember to be resilient. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys took something away. And if there's anything, right, anything you want to share, or anything you want to ask, any topics you want me to cover, put it in the description, put it in the comments, email me, and we will get back to you. Hope you guys have a good day. We'll see y'all in the next podcast. I don't know if it'll be this month, but it'll be soon. So have a good one, be safe, and hope to see you soon. God bless.